not used to people coming up to me. The suit usually scares them off. Although I guess that's my fault, isn't it?
Hello. Welcome back to Bloodworth Starfield Diaries, episode 3, in which, I am just not really worried too much about the main quest. I'm just going on little adventures, following my nose, as I did in Zelda, getting distracted by my distractions and all that fun stuff. I am still, even though it's episode 3, I'm still wandering around New Atlantis, although I do get off the planet this time. We'll get to that. Not quite fully going on the main quest yet, but we're getting there. We'll probably be crossing over the main quest next time, although I don't know how much I'll say about it in the episode. We'll see what happens. Anyways, so last time we were in the well, I still hadn't really explored the spaceport though. I obviously walked through when I first showed up, but I kind of just breezed by all that stuff, didn't really check it out. And I had this quest or marker or whatever for something going on in the security office. I go over there, and the security officer, who is friends with Sarah. Sarah knows everybody. Sarah's chatting away, before we start talking, and she's on good terms with security. And the security officer offers me a part-time job. I'm like, okay, cool. And this first little task is kind of simple. It's just like, okay, go pick up a package. So I agree to do all of this. And then I'm wandering around the spaceport a little bit before I take off. And I see this other security officer kind of like, I don't know, shaking the guy down or just giving the guy a hard time. Some like political representative from the Freestar Collective coming into the spaceport. He's, this guy is asking him for papers and stuff, and he's like, we don't need papers. What are you talking about? Like, this isn't a thing. Why are you giving me a hard time? And because I am now a part-time security officer, somehow he recognizes that, even though I'm still just wearing my leather clothes or whatever, my little suit. But because I have the security status, I walk up to this guy. I'm like, hey, what's your deal? Like, why is this all happening? And he actually, what's cool is he actually explains his perspective and like the history behind all of this, and his uncle had been caught up in the war and died and stuff like that. But it's like, hey, but look, man, like this guy here, like that's not his fault. Like he's just trying to do his job, like just chill out, let him in. And so I managed to persuade him to basically go up to apologize to the guy, and the guy thanked me and all of that. So that was kind of a cool little moment there. Then I found Viewport, the bar that's there, and there's quite a few like different little shady characters in the bar. And I talked to the bartender. And what's interesting, again, Sarah knows this person. Sarah's chatting her up before I start talking to her. And the bartender asked me to do this favor. And so what had happened is she had hired this guy to get her this stuff, some ingredients. She's got the idea for this cocktail or whatever. So she hired this guy to go get her these ingredients for this cocktail. But it turns out this guy was also doing some illicit stuff on the side. His cargo got confiscated, and now her stuff is in impound along with the other illicit goods. She has tried to fill out paperwork and stuff. It hasn't gone anywhere. So she asks me to, why don't you go find a way to get it? Now I'm not telling you to do anything illegal, but maybe what you do isn't particularly legal. Just whatever, however you manage to pull this off. And so I agree to do that, which then Sarah hates again. So I'm like, dang it. Like my bonds with Sarah are like twice now that I've done things that Sarah does not like. Just by accepting the quest, she's not even going to wait for me to see how I pull this off. She's just not happy with this. She doesn't want to be involved. Okay, I go to the security officer. He's not having it. I kind of went up to the docks because it's like the impound is on the far side of the docks, and there's a guy there, and I like tried to persuade him. He wasn't having it. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna try to break into this place. We'll see. I did see that there was in the locker room at the police station, there was a key card just sitting there. I could steal it, but again, like I said, I'm like xenobiologist. I'm not really a smuggler, thief kind of guy. So I'm like, I'm gonna see if there's another way. So remember that. We'll come back to this. All right. Also, in that bar was this dude named the Hunter, who's in this like really intimidating outfit. But if you start talking to him, he'll talk to you, and he's just like a cool guy. He kind of disappeared after that. I'm curious where that'll lead. I'm going to be on the lookout for the Hunter in the future. So anyways, yeah, I was kind of done wandering around. I did a couple other things there around the spaceport, but I went to Mast to find this spy guy that the security officer wanted me to get a package from. While I'm wandering around there, I found this researcher who is missing notes. He had left a data pad when he had evacuated the space station that got attacked. So I accepted a quest from him. We'll also get to that in a minute. Yeah, so I find the spy guy's like Aegis or whatever like that is the spy agency, and chat to him about stuff. He's obviously vague because he's not going to give away his spy secrets or whatever. And then I get the package from him, and I take the package back to security. Job's done. Doesn't have any jobs for me right now, but you know, keep your ears open. So that like I said, I got that other quest from the researcher. So I'm like, okay, this is a chance. Okay, let me finally get off of this planet and go do something else. So I go to my ship, and I talk to the adoring fan. Remember, we met the adoring fan in episode 1, and I said, like, just go, yeah, cool, whatever. Like, I picked you as a trait. Go be part of my crew. It's fine. We'll sort it out. We'll figure it out. So I start talking to him, and you have these dialogue options where it's like, you kind of like try to get like in his head a little bit. It's like, hey, you know, it's cool and all, but why didn't you kind of tone it down? You know, and I was trying to go about this in like the most reasonable, nicest way that I could, and just like, man, you're cool, but just take it down a notch. That's all. I just need you to take it down a notch. I'm not the greatest person that ever lived, etc., etc., etc. And I was successble in doing that. And he was like, yeah, you know, you're right. I need to rethink about, you know, what I'm doing and what I'm doing with my life and all that. And then he leaves my crew. I'm like, no, that's not. So I don't know if this guy is just gone from the game now and I just wasted that trait pick at the beginning. But he's gone. He's gone. See ya, dude. All right. But now I'm sure, after I lost that other crew member in the well last episode because of nonsense, I didn't realize I didn't have any space for him. And now I've lost my adoring fan. So now I need a second crew member. I mean, I probably don't need them, but whatever. So I go back to the viewport, start looking around at the people that are there, and then I hire this person named Marika. I brought her. Her price was crazy. But see, there's something I find very interesting about these companions that are like, they've got names. Because the guy before in the well, he was just whatever, blah, 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 engineer. Marika is a person. It's like a real named person. Like, okay, I need to be on the lookout for these people that I can recruit. So I managed to persuade her, felt really good about that, brought her down from this crazy like $13,000 price down to like $6,000, got her on my ship, and once she was on my ship, I could start talking to her, and like we just started going in like just full backstory on this character, talking about coming from the Freestar Collective and not being satisfied with stuff that they were doing and didn't feel like they were taking care of people. Then she came to the UC, and you know, she said, oh, this is all better, this is great. And then she saw the well, and she's like, well, the UC's not really taking care of their people either. And so she kind of is like, she's just disillusioned with these major factions, and she wants to go out and start her own fresh colony. But she's like, well, if I'm going to do this first, you know, I need to see essentially see the world, but obviously see the, you know, the more than one world, see the galaxy, see all the major cities, and you're like, oh yeah, you know, well, we'll probably get around to it, but yeah, I'm a slow dude, and I'm gonna wander a bit. She's like, oh, that's fine, that's fine. All right, so, anyways, so then take off, fly to the station. This is hilariously awkward. I am flying around this space station, and I have no idea. Absolutely no idea how to land my ship at this space station. I'm like upside down, spinning around, changing camera views. I'm just like, is there a helipad kind of thing? Like, this looks like a spot I could dock with, but I fly up to it and I just bump into it. My shields get reduced and like nothing happened. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And then I like scan through the tutorials and stuff, like, what am I supposed to do? And then eventually figure out this, like, oh, there's like a name. There's like a node with a name on it, and you click on the name of the space station, and then the button prompt comes up to allow you to dock. I'm like, okay, cool. Then I get in there, and now it's been like 10 hours or so since I've been involved in combat, and so I'm just like, I don't know which buttons do what can I do here? These guys, by the way, the guys that took over the space station, they're like level 14 and I'm like level 6 or something. But even funnier is, I guess I just didn't have any ammo. So I'm going in there and I'm like, bang, 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 oh, I'm out of ammo. Let's switch gun. Bang, 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 oh, I'm out of ammo again. And just like, thankfully by like killing dudes, like I was able to like actually grab some ammo off of the corpses. But yeah, so that was funny. So did quite a bit of combat in there. I had activated some robot, but it didn't really, I guess it helped me here and there, but I don't even know if I have a shot of the robot helping me. But it was like just some security robot that I was able to like program to recognize the threat. Yeah, I kind of like, we kind of picked our way through, died and reloaded a couple of times because these guys were so hard. I did find the scientist's notes, but then like, oh, well, I don't want to just like leave this, you know, like take the thing and leave. I just want to check this place out. But this is a xenobiologist station. I'm a xenobiologist. I'm interested in this stuff. So I find like these little cases, compartments, that's the word I'm looking for, with like some freaky plants and stuff growing in them. Fight off some more soldiers, find some like other compartments on the other side that have these like big weird bugs looking inside of them. And then I go upstairs and the like captain is like level 20 and I try to take him out. I was like, nope, shot down, didn't work. I tried a few more times or whatever. Eventually I got them. Took a minute to get them. And then like a dummy, I opened the animal compartments. These bugs start coming out. And the first couple of them flying, I took them down. Then there was one that was like, oh, this one's a little harder. And then the last one was just like level 40 something, just like took us out. It's like, okay. Reloaded. And I basically got out of there. But before we move on from the space station, I don't have a lot of this. I like did some lockpicking and stuff, so maybe you can show my lockpicking nonsense. But I was checking out like the computer stations and stuff like that, and the notes from the biologists, and there was a name in there, Helena Chambers, who was like the like horrible boss kind of person. She was like, she didn't want to approve people like going off to, you know, to visit their families, and she was working people long, and security wasn't up to snuff, and all this stuff. And remember, this place, we're reading about this stuff after it had been taken over by this other faction. And what was so funny, like there was a point where she like threatened somebody, and it's like, I've got the power to make you a barista if you don't do what I say, blah, 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 blah. Here's the joke. I was in a coffee shop before I went back out to space. Helena Chambers was in that coffee shop arguing with the manager because, oh no, I'm important. I should be the manager. I shouldn't do this. Nobody can make this kind of coffee drink in this kind of time. This is unreasonable, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what happened in between, but because that space station got taken down, she was demoted and had to work in a coffee shop. And you have to be paying real close attention, at least the way I came across that story, to even to notice that that's what happened. And I love it. Anyways, get back to New Atlantis. I got a little gift from Sarah, which was just like a little flower that I guess we use for crafting or something. So it's a little funny. It's like, oh, that's cool. If we go out and do stuff like Sarah, like I guess my bond isn't totally wrecked with Sarah. Returned the thing to the scientist. He didn't really say much, but he appreciated it. But a security officer told me that security had another job for me. And so I go and I do that job for him. And I don't even remember what it was at the moment, but it was another real quick one. And then after I completed that job, I asked him again. It's like, hey, I got a friend that needs some stuff out of the impound. Remember, we talked about this bartender. Had stuff in the impound. Didn't want to steal a key card, didn't want to break in. And he's like, okay, look, I get it, you know. You've been a good employee or you know, good worker or whatever. Here's a key card. Take your friend's stuff, don't touch anything else. So I took it. I went over to the place. I got the goods, took it back to the bartender. All good. I did it in the least shady way I could. Still a little bit shady. Still not entirely by the book. But I had clearance from the security supervisor. Good stuff. So that'll do it for today. Nice little adventures. First adventure to a space station. Punching a little bit above my weight, but that's fine. Yeah, I think next time around we probably will cross over into main quest territory a little bit. That's what I'm gearing up to do. Other than like just side stuff on the bounty boards, there's not a lot else going on in New Atlantis. So we'll get out of New Atlantis. We'll go. Looks like we're probably gonna like head off to like Earth and Mars and stuff. So we'll see. We might poke around there and see what we can do. But yeah, thanks for watching Bloodworth Starfield Diaries. Surprisingly long this episode because I thought this episode and the last one was going to be one, and I like realized these is two separate episodes. But yeah, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out the rest of the series. I don't know how long these will go. I'm thinking maybe 6 episodes, maybe 10 at the most, but hey, we'll see, especially if people are liking them. If you like this, please tell your friends. Not a ton of people that have been watching, but the people that have been watching have been really liking it. So let your friends know that this is a cool series if you think this is a cool series. And also consider supporting us on patreon.com/easyallies. That's how everything we do gets done. And I will see you next time.
On top of that, you get free drinks. Not like unlimited free drinks, but you want a little pick-me-up now and then? I got you covered.